I'm FD from Roll with FD.
I'm rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD, baby.
I'm rolling with FD.
And this is my co-host, Big Jon.
Hey YouTube, it's your boy Big Jon. Thank you for rolling with me and FD here on What's the Play.
We're here every week.
Big Jon, what's going on?
What's up? What's going on?
Talking sports, the hobby, pop culture, and much more.
Catch us every Tuesday night talking about sports, the sports car hobby, and current events. Go Bears.
Most of these teams that do not care about if they're winning ball games. They care enough about, are you interested in what they're doing?
Beckett probably going out of business or getting bought soon.
I don't think Kawhi Leonard, if he comes back, he's going to end up going back out.
Dion, you don't gotta like that he cocky, but he got a right to be.
Big Jon, if Jimmy Butler goes to the Bay, I'm on the ground and I'm not. And you all know we're going to bring on guests from the hobby and everywhere else that you want to hear from.
You have to be prepared for haters. You have to be prepared for people who don't like you.
I started opening up my first packs in 1976.
I don't want to interrupt you, but while you're talking, I just got some background entertainment for you, but keep going.
What are you playing? Michael Jordan.
We got Junior in the house and Paxton in the house.
A lot of players got to find a way to win based on their own strengths.
What would we say is Ja Morant's strength?
Attacking the rim.
You know, small guards attack the rim, don't play long. This is the What's the Play podcast. Big Jon.
What's up, people? Are we doing FD?
It's Tuesday. I'm good. I'm good. 2 days, 48 hours away from the NBA Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be a finals. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
But before we jumped on here, I asked Big Jon, hey, why is Tyrese Halliburton marketed it as a dominant player on the team in the NBA Finals? Like, well, why is he a leader? Pascal Siakam performs very well. We don't really talk about him. Nimbrand, up-and-coming player. We don't really talk about him on a national scope. Why is it Tyrese Halliburton? Big Jon had good insight.
I mean, he's to start. He's the one that came in with the hype, right? Pascal Siakam, he's a champion. But if you look at that, you know, he's a champion because of Kawhi, not because he led that team. Indiana.
You think Tyrese Halliburton is leading Indiana right now?
He's leading that team.
Mm.
He is the leader, no question in that.
Mm.
No,
I kind of question that.
I mean, you question everything.
I think he's a role player.
He's not a role player.
Big Jon's a role player.
He's not a role player. Not on maybe any other team. He's not a role player on that team. He's the end.
Okay, so then I said to Big Jon, it's time to expose some folks, right? Because Ja was exposed. Anthony Edwards was exposed. And several guards on Denver was exposed. And so now I think, just putting my little hat on, thinking about the future, I think Tyrese Halliburton is about to be exposed.
Now you got to go into detail, right? How was Anthony Edwards exposed? Exposed how?
In every aspect of basketball. The decision-making, leadership, his shot selection, how he played defense, any aspect of basketball, Anthony Edwards was exposed.
Okay.
And I feel, I've told you before, he shouldn't even been there. If Steph Curry doesn't pull a hamstring, so then he went to the next round and just got slapped up because he should not have been there.
All right. So when I hear your point, mm-hmm. And I don't think he should have been there. You know, I am still mad that I didn't get one playoff Jimmy in performance in that series. I just needed one to get to Game 6, right?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed in that. I feel like Anthony Edwards has taken on this legend killer, Randy Orton-esque persona where he wants to take out all these GOATs,
But
right?
See, that's all marketing. Go ahead.
marketing, but it's a little bit of marketing, right?
Hype train.
You come up with when you come up to your peers, to your equals, to the young upcoming stars.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. You don't have that same
Nope.
bravado, that same determination, right?
And so let's look at who he put out.
Mhm.
Out of shape, Luka.
And LeBron.
LeBron is old.
LeBron.
Anthony Edwards can't hold a light to LeBron that was in Miami.
No.
This is not that LeBron.
No.
He can't hold a light to LeBron that was in Cleveland early in his career. And then he put out an old KD.
Yep.
So who is Anthony Edwards put out? Like you said, this is his first chance to put out a guy, some people that's 25, 24, 26 years old, in his same age bracket, and he gets slapped up.
Yeah. So you just want, let's sneeze, sorry.
It's all good.
You just wonder, when you're going to put it all together and make that jump everybody thinks you're supposed to make.
Mm-hmm. And people say, oh, he's 23.
Mm-hmm. I'm not using age as an excuse here.
No, I'm not. I don't understand that argument. He's 23. His mouth said he was about to do something.
Mm-hmm. But if you keep it 100, they got out coached.
They did.
They got out coached.
Mm-hmm.
They
got exposed.
Mm-hmm.
OKC to me is on the exposed train. If they come through, a lot of people are like, what? I mean, look at Memphis. I don't know what was going on in that series. I mean, Ja got hurt, but I don't know what was going on. I don't know what Jared Jackson Jr. was doing.
Right. Where was Jan Jackson at? But now you're coming up with a solid team in Indiana, right?
A solid team. I will agree with that. A solid team.
And a hot team, right? They are on fire. They are hot. Yes. And a well-coached team.
Yes.
And a coach that makes in-game adjustments.
Yes.
Right? So
he has a championship under his belt. He's coached Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
He's bona fide. He won championships with Hall of Famers.
And his style is pick and roll inside out. Mm-hmm. His style is not chunk up as many threes as possible.
No.
So this series, in my mind, is going to be scrappy. It's going to be loose ball reliant.
Mm-hmm.
To see who goes what, who gets what.
I actually think Nembhard, I like his game, and he's going to be able to be on the stage to show what he's made of. And I predict at least 2 games where he's the leading scorer of Indiana, and he's going to be a problem matchup for OKC.
Well, here's the thing, right? They are very similar teams if you take away the back of the jersey.
Yep.
They have size coming off the bench. Mm-hmm. They have defense coming off the bench. They have 3-point coming off the bench. They have scrappiness coming off the bench.
Their big man can shoot the 3.
Their big man can shoot the 3. Mm-hmm. Their lead guards can shoot the mid-range and 3. Their second, they have a great, secondary option.
I think they have the 1-2 record in the NBA since the All-Star break, if I'm not mistaken on that.
And 2 of the top defensive teams since the All-Star break.
Yes.
So.
But I'm still going to say Halliburton's going to be exposed.
Brendan got a good reason right there.
What we got? Maybe it only seems like exposure by contrast of these overexposed ones. Oh, we'll see. I'm just I see Halliburton as a good player, not more than that. And in the right conditions, if Ty Jerome is D'ing him up, he's going to make you pay for that, as he should. If there's a real defender on him, he'd better get that ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
And then he'll probably have a couple of 8-point games, 9-point games versus OKC.
He's inconsistent scorer.
That's because his ball handling skills are weak. Have you seen his crossover?
I don't think his ball handling skills are weak.
Have you seen his crossover, Big Jon?
His crossover.
And what did you think when you saw that?
I think it's fine.
Did it shake you up at home? Did it make you not know whether the ball was going?
It's a slow crossover, but it's pace. Like we're used to Kyrie Irving and all the fanciness and thinking they lost the ball and they got it. Like he doesn't get a lot of turnovers. He doesn't get the ball stolen from him a lot. Right? Ball handler's able to secure the ball. He's secure with the ball. He's 6'7". Right. He has a wider, elongated, arm movement, but he's always in control of the ball. I've never watched him play and thought he's got in control of the ball basketball. Same thing with Shea, right? I don't think Shea has the fancy ball handling skills, but I don't see any problem with his ball handling. He gets to where he wants to go. He's control of his body, and I don't ever think Shea is like his ball is exposed to get stolen.
No,
I just think you just got. It's different. Sometimes different is good. I like this matchup though, right?
Yeah, Brendan says the reason why these players haven't been discussed because there wasn't anything to discuss from the championship perspective. What's Steph Curry's new show called? He has a new show?
He did something. I didn't know it was a new show. No, he did I thought it was just an interview.
Yeah, he did an interview. I saw that.
It was a new show.
Yeah. Talked about a lot of different stuff in that interview, which was interesting. I thought it was interesting how he shut down last week. Did he ever want a podcast?
Yeah.
He shut that down, said, not really interested in that. Which told me he's probably interested in something upstairs.
Yeah. He said he would see him owning a team, whether NBA, WNBA.
Yep.
So, speaking of that, podcast. No NBA player with a podcast is in the finals.
Yeah.
But in fact, no NBA player with a podcast made the conference final.
Well, if you think about it, though, okay, let's go through the roll call. And before we go through the roll call, hold on one second. I'll make sure I got my stuff together. Let's go through the roll call of who has a podcast. Paul George.
Yeah.
Who right now is really picking up checks, right? His career is probably almost basically over. We got LeBron James.
Yeah.
Who's on the tail end of his career. He's probably going to lean on Luka. Who else is there? Draymond Green. Golden State got put out. Draymond is probably also a few years away from calling it quits. Who else has a podcast that's actively playing ball?
Active? I can't. That's the only ones I know that are active. Oh, Jalen Brunson. Oh, I get Jalen Brunson and they have a podcast. So they made the East Conference Finals. So I was wrong there. My bad.
Well, yeah.
Brunson Hart. So, but I got in. They wasn't running it during the playoffs, which was smart. They wasn't doing it during the playoffs.
Shouldn't be doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's it's time to lock in. You lock in. I don't like Draymond doing a podcast out the game in the playoffs. Like, lock in. We disagree with like how much you should be in the gym when you're on vacation and the season's out over with. But during the playoffs, hey, lock in. Like I would talk about all this when I'm done, when we're out. We're out. I'm not doing it after the games and raw emotion.
I don't know why Draymond wants to do that. There are some things I don't really know why Draymond hangs out with LeBron. I mean, that's a totally different conversation. But I definitely don't know why Draymond Green is doing podcasts when he's still playing games. I just don't. It would be the furthest thing from my mind. Maybe it's something that helps him. I just don't. I don't know. I do like when I watch his podcast. Baron Davis is standing on what Baron Davis is talking about.
Yes.
He's not changing his. Like the other day, which didn't make any sense to me. There was a question of Giannis as a power forward and his level of greatness as a power forward. And Draymond said, when I think of Giannis, I don't think of a power forward. I think of, you're not going to mention him in the same breath as Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, or Charles Barkley. I didn't quite know what Draymond was talking about. And Baron Davis said he's a power forward. And stood on that. Like, power forward, man. What are you talking about? And they almost got into a mini argument almost for the first time. Like, Draymond was like, I don't see him that way. And Baron is like, well, but I don't care what you see him like.
That's what it is. That's his natural position.
Yes.
Because he doesn't play like a power forward. He has the ball in his hand a lot. He's initiating the offense. He's down. But he goes down. His natural position should be power forward.
Yeah, that's what it is. I didn't know what Draymond was getting at. I don't know. Where do you see Giannis going?
Giannis, I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm almost to the point where he may not go anywhere.
Big Jon, if he stays in Milwaukee, then he becomes Dame Lillard.
Well, you said that at the beginning of the year he was going to become Dame Lillard. So
yeah, I mean, he's saying I'm going to stake my flag in the ground that I'm willing to put up with this for years to come. This move right here affects his level of greatness. When you sit down and talk about his career, if he stays in Milwaukee, there's a lot of stuff that's not happening.
Well, take away what happened, right? Take away how the season ended. Mm-hmm. You have new ownership who led by Alex Rodriguez. So winning is important, right? Yep. So if you just separate the ending of the season to what the future could be, right? If I am new owner, and I want to win, Giannis is my star player. When we sit down and talk, all I'm really trying to do is gauge where he's at, and if he's not, hey, give me a trade. I might want to be traded. Listen, this is what we're going to try to do. It was this offseason, right? Let us see what we can do this offseason, who we can get you. We know Dame's hurt, but, we have this much cap space. He's going to lose a lot of people, right? Bobby Portis, Memphis is already gone. Lopez is probably gone as well. So
he's on a 7-year rebuild.
Could be. No, that's not good. Could be a 3-year rebuild. But who's gonna coach them though? Do they start? They don't even know who the coach gonna be, right? Because this coach got fired too, right?
Yes. Would you want to be involved in any of this? I wouldn't want to. Is he 31?
Yeah.
I don't want to be involved in that, man.
Me, no, per se. But what you got? New York, they just fired their coach. Where you gonna go? Can't go down to Dallas. Where you can go to win? Cleveland. You're not gonna win if you go to Cleveland.
Nope.
Look over in the West. You want to go to Minnesota?
Nope.
I'm
not coupling myself with anything else if I want to win.
Oh, Memphis?
No.
You trying to go?
They're gonna get rid of Ja. They're gonna get rid of Ja, but then they're rebuilding.
Yeah. Sacramento?
No. Who's the coach?
Lakers don't have enough to make a move for you.
No. You're zeroing in. It's only like 1 or 2 places.
Yeah. Golden State's going to have to blow up a couple things to get you. They have enough assets, but you won't have a bench.
That's cool.
So
we'll be Miami first year. We'll be Miami first year. Didn't have a bench, still got to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
so many places for Giannis. And if you want to play with someone that's next level, it's definitely only so many places.
Mm-hmm. Want to go to Charlotte? Play with Brandon Miller?
No. I still don't know who Brandon Miller is, to tell you the truth. I don't know. I don't know how anyone could ascertain who that guy is right now. He hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Brendan made a good point. Transition to the second career for Draymond. I just don't know why you're doing that while you're still playing ball. Like wait until you win that championship or when you get put out the playoffs, and then get on and talk about stuff. Yeah, it's not the same game with Giannis. People don't want to admit that the point guard position has evolved, so people surely aren't going to admit that the power forward position has evolved.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna stop predicting bad things happen to people I like because Tibbs got fired today, and I told you if he didn't make the finals, he's gonna get fired, even though it ain't right. The best and worst job is
hold up. You don't think it was right that Tibbs got let go?
No.
Oh, I think it was.
I mean,
oh yeah.
No, I don't think it's right.
Oh, I think it is.
I understand why, in a sense, but no, I don't think it's right.
We can't have a coach, man, where you're playing 5 players. We just can't have. This is 2025. We can't have that.
Leon Rose knows who he is, knows what you have in him, what his coaching style is. 1, 2, his coaching style got you to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. Over the past 5 years, you've improved every single year.
Name one Hall of Fame coach or good coach that they had in the last 25 years.
Well, the Hall of Fame coach is Phil Jackson.
0. Did the Knicks had?
Yeah, they had Phil Jackson. He was just bad then.
Yeah. It's not so. When people say he got him there in 25 years, like they haven't had anybody.
Yeah, but still, right? I did enough. You got went to a game 7.
Okay.
Tim
Saller's never won a championship.
Oh, I agree.
I
agree.
But what I want to know is what went down for him to go from playing 5 to getting some bench players. Something went down.
Something went down. But you knew that when you hired him. You knew that when you gave him a 3-year extension. And you fired him before the 3-year extension kicked in. You also made 2 big trades this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, like, my Tibbs bias may be showing, but I agree. His style. I said his style wouldn't win a championship. It's not like I'm not.
Yes.
But in the nature of this, right? What he achieved. If you take what he achieved this year, and the merit of that, and saying losing a game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years, you deserve to be fired.
I think he had to
go.
He had to go. When you start playing 5 players, you have to go. It's like JJ Redick. What he did in the playoffs was very suspect.
Yeah, but the best and worst job is being a high-performing coach in the NBA.
It is.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
4 of the last 6 championship coaches have been fired.
Yes.
All right?
But I believe all these things happen has nothing to do with basketball.
No. It's crazy that you only that there isn't a salary cap for the front office for teams.
Mm-hmm.
For coaches, GMs, scouting staff, because you have Detroit and Phoenix collectively paying a coach $85 million, not the coach.
Yep.
Tibbs going to get paid $30 million for the next 3 years, not the coach. At them, right? You got Buzenhauer getting paid. All these people getting paid.
Hey, Brendan says you only have to be wrong once. But I believe a lot of these firings and people leaving teams has nothing to do with basketball.
Hmm.
It has something to do with who's in control of a situation.
It could be.
Coaches want to control the situation.
Hmm.
Top brass won't let them control.
I seen a meme today that said Cat got Tibbs fired twice.
Yeah. Yeah, Cat was suspect in that series, man.
Oh, he was great suspect. Mitchell Robinson was balling.
What's that?
Mitchell Robinson was balling in the last 2 games.
Yes. Doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Brown. Bad Jordan Brown. He played 7, but didn't deserve to be fired. However, it was the best basketball decision for the Knicks. I'm still going to stand on. He deserved to be fired when you play 5 people into the ground. But I thought it was interesting the last post-game press conference. Reporter asked Jalen Brunson, is Tibbs the guy for this team going forward? And Brunson got a lot hot about that.
Yeah. Because players love playing for Tibbs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He holds them accountable. Right? You give them tick. They play hard. They play hard. They play defense. You can consistently know what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Brunson is a Tibbs point guard. Small, undersized, tax the rims, got a mid-range. Right?
But you know Tibbs will take 4 years off his career.
Yes, I know that as well. Mm-hmm. But if you ask any former Tibbs player, they will go back and play for Tibbs in a heartbeat. Right?
Tibbs should say, I'm going to be an assistant.
Besides Obi Toppin. Him and Obi Toppin got beef.
I'm going to ride this thing out. I'm going to be an assistant.
He can go be an assistant, and you're going to have one of the best defenses.
Yes.
In a hard. But, hey, listen, I'm sure sitting home getting $30 million a year ain't a bad situation to be in.
But I'll go back. If you have to look back over 25 years and D'Antonio is your best coach that you pull out, it's not happening.
So, all right. We got a couple people here. Let's transition to the show this weekend.
Oh, the show. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Tell us all about the show.
All right. So I did the 860 car show this weekend. Beautiful venue. Hilton Hotel in Mystic, Connecticut. We had the big ballroom. Tables was nice. Came in through the door. Hit 10 cartridge name on it. Able to set up was real quick and easy. Joanna and Alex were amazing to deal with during the show. Come around and check on them. About 100 to 150 people came through from what I overheard. So that's very good for a very first show out in the eastern part of Connecticut. Mm-hmm. The dealers I met was nice. They were great to deal with coming through. I was set in between their table and a big Pokemon table. I want to say from when I looked around, there's probably about 60-40 Pokemon, the sports vendors in there. But I had a really good time. I did some really cool people came through. A lot of Pokemon. I think 70% of people that came through were Pokemon people. But difference you can tell, Pokemon people have binders and sports card people have cases.
Yes.
You can tell who's coming in. What else? But it's a lot. It wasn't as overwhelming as I thought it would be to actually be in there doing it in the middle of it. Okay. I had a nice table set up. I had some gimmick giveaway Pokemon cards for people. Had big Pokemon cards and Happy Father's Day Pokemon cards I gave away to the kids to give their parents. And then adults got the big robust Charizard stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Those were a hit. vendors was coming back like, "What is this?" and laughing and buying stuff and getting one. So I enjoy that part of it. Couple of things I learned: your profit is in where you buy stuff at. Like, even if you're talking about you're gonna buy it and grade it, you're gonna try to wait till it goes up and down. The price point you buy stuff at is going to determine where you can make a profit at.
But tell the people why you think that. Like, what's on the other side?
Reason being, I price my stuff. Majority of the things that I had were at last comp or lower, or last comp plus $5 shipping fee you get on eBay. So I was very like, hey, last one sold for $25, I'm gonna put it at 20. Last one sold for 30, I can't. This is a more liquid card, I'm gonna put it at 35. Right? Just trying to be fair, but also like I know what I bought things at when I bought them for, so I'm like, okay, it's what it is now. I got wiggle room. And I want to say 70% of people I dealt with, can you do a $5 slash? Yeah. And it was immediate. Yeah, we didn't have to haggle back and forth. Yeah. And but like I had a bunch of Kaden Clark Iowa stuff, all set $5, no brainer. I'll buy that for $5. I'll buy that. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that were priced fairly, no haggle at all. $5, here you go. That's give and take. Things I had a little bit, round or with a graded card, they were asking for a little haircut, which I didn't mind giving it all.
Yeah.
I told everybody, it's my first show. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm here to make deals. That's my whole big thing. What do you collect? What sports you into? I'm having fun. I'm here to make deals. I'm here to meet people and make some deals. What you got? Mm-hmm. Dollar boxes was a good hit. Good hit. My wife and daughter came at the end, sat down at the table with me.
Good. I saw the picture of your daughter. I saw the video from your wife. Very good.
She nobody really knows about the Squishmallow cards. So that was some surprise to see. I was like, what are these? Like, what are Squishmallows? Like, my daughter loves them. And she told 4 cards, so which was nice to her to do. She was happy.
Okay.
People were very intrigued when they seen them. They're like, oh, I did not know about these. Like, yeah, they're Squishmallow cards, man, and they're cool. They're easy rip. You get a lot of value from ripping them. You're gonna get numbered. You're gonna get color. You're gonna get sparkle and shine, and you're getting about 60 cards out of a box for $25.
What's cool though is that your daughter's gonna remember this for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was cool having her sit like that. She was sitting down playing on a game. Just my wife's like, I'm just sitting back here smiling because I don't know what you're talking about. Like, no problem. I got this. Don't worry. We just talking. I stood up most of the show. So 6-hour show or 5-hour show. I stood up probably about 4.5 hours just standing behind the table.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I was busy about 80% of the show.
Okay.
Because I was the second table in. So people, hey, how you doing? Shaking hands. They look over, go walk around, come back.
Did you have people coming up wanting to sell you stuff? Sell you cards?
Yes, I did.
I know you did, yeah.
Looked at everything. I bought some stuff. I bought green Bo Nix NFL debut for Mosaic.
Okay. I mean, you posted that, yeah.
Jaden Daniels, a Jalen Green out of Prism. Just some little stuff. I bought a couple more things, but immediately priced them and they sold right back at me. So it was a good experience. I'm already booked the next show in October.
There you go. I was going to ask that question.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get bigger tables. But now, I think you guys got to understand, we talk about what's the play, what are we doing in the hobby from a buy and a sell point. I realized that vending at a show.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the noise that you see on social media.
What kind of noise? Break that
So,
down. Explain that.
so if you think about it, right? This card is liquid. These quarterbacks are liquid, or everybody's buying this, looking for that. We had the big hoopla about V friends.
Mm-hmm.
Not one person that came through said they were looking for V friends. Do you have V friends? Not one person.
I understand.
Right? It was either Pokemon, sports, or vintage. That's it. Right? The Pokemon hype is real.
It is.
Right? The table I was sat next to, Will and his family, all the kids were playing friendly battles with people. They were doing pack battles. Somebody had Pokeball card holders. They 3D printed and they were selling them. And everybody I seen was walking out with one of them in their hands. There are women in the hobby who come and buy cards for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, very knowledgeable. Doing
Very
that.
knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And a couple ladies come in and pick out Caitlin Clarks they wanted, pick out some WNBA cards they wanted for themselves and their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Very in tune with what their kids were buying and looking at, and asking, "Do you really want that? Why do you want that?"
Questions asked. Yeah.
But I had people trying to make deals so they can go resell. I met a couple of kids who were reselling off TikTok Live. Talked to them for a minute. Immediately, I sold them a couple of things. Immediately, when I got home, I get an invite for their live. They had it during their live, selling it right there and there in their live. So, all moving parts of the hobby I got to see. But I didn't get to see none of this negativity that you see on social media. Why is PSA doing this? Why is SCT doing that? This person's a scammer. This person that. It was all positive. It was all, hey, we're happy to be here. Thanks for vending. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate even people who didn't. I had a Pokemon binder, just like a house of writing. Even if they didn't see anything I liked, it was still, hey, thank you for letting me look. Right?
Yep.
So a lot of the stuff that we see, we hear as negative, didn't experience it once. Didn't hear about it. Then nobody talked about it. It wasn't a topic of discussion in person. When we were just having conversations about sports, conversations about cars, people who wasn't buying anything, just making conversation. Nothing negative in small talk. It was all a very positive experience, very fun experience. And even without selling part, just the experience was rewarding for me to actually do.
I kind of thought that from the get-go. Meeting the individuals that's hosting the show. Yeah, I didn't foresee. It would have shocked me if you said, this was happening, that was happening. I would have kind of been blown away. I'm glad you had a great experience.
Yeah, no, I thank Alex and Joanna very much for letting me do it. I thank everybody that we've had on over the past month for the different advice they've given me. It was very good advice. Even though my case was broken, I still used it and made it work for me. Just left everything open. Even with having it open and no top on it, people were asking, hey, can I pick that up? They wouldn't just taking it and picking it up and grabbing it. Hey, can I pick it up? Can I look at it? Can I open it? Can I take it out the sleeve, whatever? So I think one thing that did help me as I sold stuff, I was rotating stuff in my case. Okay. Just so when they walked around and came back around to the table,
it looked different.
It looked different, right? Maybe you didn't see when you first glanced over because somebody was in front of me, going through a dollar box or looking at stuff yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling was very good for me. I'm one of the people that had wrestling in the building. People came in with some wrestling stuff as well to try to sell. So very emerging market there. Sold all my John Cena's, sold some Rhea Ripley's. So very, very satisfied. Very surprised with stuff I didn't sell that I thought people would be more interested in.
What's that?
Oh, just like some Star Wars graded stuff, like some of my graded wrestling, a lot of people just bought Raw. They just wanted the Raw stuff. So it was just very interesting just kind of see those different dynamics in play. I look at it like
Yeah, Brendan asked this question. Charger, for example, why that character having such dominance price wise?
I mean, because Charizard the GOAT. Like Charizard is one of the overall best Pokemon that we remember. It's nostalgic for a lot of us. But even with Pokemon, it's like the special illustrated rares, the stuff that are now rare for the newest stuff, people are looking at and looking for. Even the night before, I went to the trade night at EC3 Con Shop at Scott's, and everybody there, they were trading Pokemon. Right? There's like 3 other people with sports, and then we talked to them. I was like, "Yeah, I got sports. Like, I'll look at them, see what you got." That's how I got my Kobe White. I bought a Kobe White over the weekend. Blue Velocity PSA 10.
You posted that, right?
Yeah, I posted it. Yeah,
saw that.
I got to post my Kobe's. I needed to add a new one. I ain't added a new one in a while. I was like, "Oh, you got a Kobe White? Yeah, let me see it." They had an Obsidian out of 10, but we couldn't find a good comp, and I didn't want to spend too much money the day before the show.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna reach back out to him and let's see if we can make a deal.
Okay.
But then I traded a big One Piece card for my friend to get him more Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm.
We opened more Pokemon cards and pulled bigger cards than the cards that we traded for. So he was happy.
Yeah.
So
that's what it's all about.
Pokemon's the real.
You had a great experience. You got a chance to see the community.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on out there? It's very good.
Yeah, man. Caitlin Clark is very, very easily to move, easily to get into.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Then up here, people are looking for Paige. Again, nobody said you got the Angel Reese's.
Nobody looking for Angel Reese?
I was looking for Angel Reese. They were looking for Paige. They were looking for Caitlin. Then people were looking for deals. And, I was willing to get some deals just, for the experience. A lot of stuff I've had for a while, so I knew what I got. I knew by the time I've had it, it's a profit now. Right?
Brendan asked a question, do you think a table next to a signing is a hot spot? I would think so. What do you think?
I would think so, depending. Well, I was at the big show in Mohegan. The signers on the wall by themselves, and I never see the booths across from them. It's crazy busy when people are signing, but you can, if you have cards of these signers there, you can get extra sales because people want to go get it signed.
True.
Like I've had friends walking the store with them, pick up a card to go get it signed. Pick up a $5 card to go get it signed and pay $30 for the signing. So they have a signed card of this person. So
yeah, so kind of have your inventory aligned with the signings. Who's going to be signed? That would be good advice.
Mm-hmm.
I know I went to a show a couple of years ago in San Francisco, and Jose Canseco was signing, and someone right by the line, because I want to get in line. So someone right by the line had a Topps rookie Jose Canseco card that I picked up for very little, and he was selling quite a bit of Jose Canseco in line. So I could see that.
Yeah, same thing when I went to the Doc Gooding signing. People were right around the head Doc Gooding cards. So if you didn't have something to get signed, you could.
So here at the end of the month, at the end of June, there's going to be a signing. And there are 3 athletes there that excite me. Randy Johnson.
Okay.
Sean Kemp. And the glove. Gary Payton.
It's a Seattle thing.
I would love to see these guys. We'll see. Well, we will see.
A Kemp Payton dual auto would be nice.
Mm-hmm. It is two people that I think. That's what Sean Kemp played today. You wouldn't talk about Zion.
Well,
You'd be talking about Sean Kemp.
People were trying to move off that Zion that they had.
Oh, sure. I'm pretty sure. You don't want an apple with a worm in it, dude. It's just amazing to me, man. You look at a guy, I just never understand it. Doesn't have a jump shot.
Mm.
And you think he's gonna make it long term, and then you get the off the court stuff. Whoo, I just wish him the best, man. What is he, 24, 25?
Mm-hmm.
He's younger than Shea. You got a bunch of players now between 23 and 25. So we'll see. We shall see. What else did I want to jump into here? I had a little something.
It sounds like a zigzag buying situation.
Yeah, I saw that. What does that mean, zigzag?
Well, they're not. Listen, I was telling people I don't have a lot of football because I couldn't do everything. Right? I made the decision to go to what I know: baseball, wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Because baseball is affordable, wrestling is affordable, and I know those two things. Mm-hmm. So, but you don't see a lot of wrestling at shows, and then you have the Stone Colds, the Undertakers, the John Cena, the people from the Attitude Era that everybody remembers. It piques their interest.
Yeah,
it just brings the interest back. And then when you have people going into today's wrestling, you have the Stephanie Vicares, the Rhea Ripley, that piques their interest. I always say, once wrestling fans realize that there are cards, that market will go up and it will continue to go up, and it will only plateau. It won't go back down. Because as wrestling fans, we'll spend $35 on a T-shirt in a heartbeat. We'll spend $500 on a belt in a heartbeat,
mm-hmm.
and have multiple of these items. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, we got one championship belt. No, I got this one. I got that one. So, the more that you see WWE giving out cards at these PLEs, at these shows, and as you get the younger generation that like Pokemon cards, they also like wrestling, it's going to plateau. It's going to be it may take 3, 4, or 5 years to get to where some of these things are now as far as like baseball, but it won't be like F1 where it spikes and then drop. It's going to spike and plateau.
Yeah. Brendan asked a question. Clark cards sell now, but are Reese cards undervalued in a sleeper? You can at least guess based on the data for sports, but Pokemon is tough to say.
Well, before I get to that, I just got to update. The show 186 adults and 50 kids come through.
Okay.
Per show on a Sunday in the rain. That's awesome. It was still a great time.
Very good.
So Reese cards are not undervalued or a sleeper. Reese cards are based on her performance, in my opinion. But I think you see the Aja Wilsons, the Nafisa Pallards, the Sabrinas, all these other great players and good players, their cards are undervalued. There's no reason why a rookie Aja Gold out of 10 is $120.
But do you think, let's just think about this though. Do you think one player can hold up the WNBA card market? It's not like that anywhere else.
No. We need to try to invite them on, but Stacking Slabs and his co-host, they do a great WNBA podcast. Mm-hmm. Her name is Kayla. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they do a great one. And Kaylin Clark is going to keep the interest in trying to buy WNBA from a retail perspective, but she won't be oh, Marcus, we're just looking for one player, right? She's going to keep people open up packs to get her. But if you're a fan of the sport and you actually watch the sport, and you know there's other players that are way undervalued, right? This is like, I think about AJ Wilson. This is like, man, it's like getting a Curry rookie out of 10 after he won 3 championships for under $200. You couldn't imagine it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Person who achieved so much greatness already and is continuing to be great, and for her cards to be so undervalued, as opposed to Caitlin Clark, who you can buy, cards out of 600 and be paying hundreds of dollars for it. So
it'll be interesting as we go forward.
And I use Asia as an example because she's first in almost every offensive category this year.
Mm-hmm.
And you put that out on Instagram the other day, right? She's number one every category.
Mm-hmm. She's the best in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not talked about nearly as much as she should be. Hey, you think you think Aaron Rodgers is gonna sign with anyone?
I don't care.
I don't either.
Not?
Something's telling me no. Teams are starting camp.
Mm-hmm.
We got through many camp.
I thought he signed with the Steelers.
Has that been confirmed?
I've seen it somewhere, but I don't think it's ever been confirmed. I thought, but
that's who they're supposed to win when the draft was going on. But I don't think that's been confirmed. I think he likes to be chased. I think he wants the Brett Favre treatment where you fly in and the media coverage and you hop out the jet with the cutoff T-shirt on. I think that's what
he was texting that farewell tour.
You ain't Kobe. That's not happening, man.
Ain't Brady.
Draymond, I think, was on Paul Pierce podcast.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and
Pierce asked him, "Was you going to announce her?" I was like, "Nope, they're not going to do how I did you."
That was hilarious. That was hilarious, man. I like to see a green mosaic Jam Masters Clark and Reese. I want a dual sign card in their pro jersey. Now that would be next level. I had a promo card phase, but collect by eye mostly. Oh, we got Alex. Big Jon, thank you for the support and the shout out on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Alex and John.
Bro, thank you guys again. It was fun. It was really awesome. Like, my wife enjoyed the time she was there. My daughter enjoyed it, and just kind of it's good to see everything in action, right? So, even other vendors, right? And right, I stepped away when I wasn't busy, and it's like, hey, I'm just coming to see what you got. I'm over here, but I don't have it right here. It's like, hey, you can step away. We'll watch it for you. Don't worry about it. Like, people were very nice and helpful. I was just trying to see what everybody else had. I had about a 20-minute span where it was slowing down for a minute, and then right then it kind of picked right back up for a little bit. I had to come back to the table.
So, Big Jon, let me ask you, man, how was your vacation? How was the trip?
Great. I want a new car now. I rented a Honda Tucson.
Okay. Did you rent it?
I rented it, yeah. Okay. It was amazing. Nice. It was amazing. Let me tell you. That drive is terrible. It's long, but it was going. It was worth it, right? It was my daughter's first time in South Carolina. Okay. She loved it. My son. Having a moody, nonchalant 18-year-old is crazy.
Is that the vibe now?
Yeah, that's
I see a lot of kids that's got that same kind of.
because I was messing with him before, like, hey, you know, you can be mad if I don't come. Like, you gotta come. It'll be all right. I got there and I'm there. I'm like, I'm on wait. He's like, you really gotta make a big deal. We got there and he's all smiles and happy.
Yeah, none of that.
But then afterward, at his get together, he's like, I don't want to go say thank you to everybody. What you mean? What you being shot for now?
Yeah.
People can go out there and say hi. You know everybody here is your family. Go talk to them.
It's probably that center of attention thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
No, but you know, I told him like you got the weekend to kind of enjoy the last bit of being a child.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, you know, gotta call these jobs, call the school for you what you want to do afterwards, because the real world gonna hit you.
Yeah, it's grown folks out after that.
It's grown folk. You get the weekend to relax, but now he started working on Monday. So he's good.
Okay.
We saw family on the way back up, and on going down
New York or something, didn't you? I saw a little snippet.
Yeah, we stopped in New York. We stopped in Virginia, see family.
What part of Virginia were you in?
Richmond.
Oh, I used to fly into Richmond back in the day.
I did not get a chance to go to Gray Bowls. They were closed on Memorial Day. Yeah. And then I got back. They were 30. I got back to Virginia. They closed at 7. I was 30 minutes away, and I had 30. And they closed in like 25 minutes. I was like, great. I'm not gonna have to go there. But no, Richmond was nice. I hate driving in New York. I need to talk to Toby and figure out how they get their driver's license up in New York, because I just don't know. It's like
Toby drives. I wonder. I get a sense that he puts that foot.
New York is so crowded, and they just dive in and out of traffic. Yeah. No, you just got to know they gonna do it. Mm-hmm. But like, there's some parts of Manhattan where it's gonna take you 30 minutes to go 3 blocks, and it's just annoying. No, we took the scenic route going down. We went straight up, paid the tolls coming back up because I was ready to get home.
What part of New York was your family in?
Manhattan. We go to Harlem.
When I went to New York years ago, what was it, 2012? 2011? 2012. Flew in, I took the train I stayed in Manhattan, took the train to the Bronx. I think I was in someone's rental car or something. I didn't really get around, like move around like that. So parts of it didn't see.
I always drive when I go to New York because I refuse to take the subway in New York. Just something I refuse to do. If it's not Amtrak, I'm not taking it. And I hate paying for taxis. I don't like not being in control.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I just don't like not being in control. I'd rather be able to drive, and I know how to drive defensively or offensively. New Yorkers drive like they got their driver's license by playing the original Lion King game on hard without dying.
It's all about patience. Do you think Chicago people drive wild?
No.
To me, it's a lot of lane changing.
It's a lot of lane changing, but you know what? Nobody's just in your lane double parked for no reason when you dart over. Like in New York, you're driving, going smooth, and just a random car is double parked, and now everybody's got to dive in between each other. Then they're double parked.
Yeah, that's different.
I'm gonna go on a tangent about New York driving, but I love New York City. Like, it's the second best city in America. You know, Chicago first. Second best skyline in the world.
What do you think of LA?
Haven't been there. I've only been to a Disney in LA, so I haven't been to LA proper.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe we gotta get you to come out. I need to go to Connecticut. I've been to Connecticut in years. In winter, better know how to drift. That's funny. Luke selling? What is Luke selling?
I don't know. Is it more like selling in Chicago? I think.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah.
New York stinks, but Shot stinks more. Hero 3, where you from?
Talk about Hero.
What are you talking about?
No, so like Chicago, you only really have traffic downtown.
That's about it.
You only really have traffic
That's
coming
about
from
it.
the south side, going into the west side, getting on the Eisenhower.
Or the New North side on that 90.
Yeah, but you don't have traffic in the streets for that like that.
No,
You,
unless the Bulls won the championship.
yeah, a lot of people will take the streets instead of getting on the highway because it's about the same amount of time as Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
In New York, I can get out and walk and get places farther.
Yeah, if you live in the mountains, I can see that.
Yeah, New York has a smell to it, but it's not as bad as Jersey. We got into Jersey. My daughter was like, "What is that smell?" And we just looked at her. That's Jersey. There's nothing we can do about it. That's just Jersey.
Man, Jersey is stinking like that?
New York, man.
I've only been to Newark Airport.
Yeah.
I've been to Jersey.
No, it's just roll the windows up, turn the AC on, and keep going.
That is interesting.
Well, vacation was good, man. I got to relax for a little bit. I was back to get back home. You know, so we're good.
Where do you think KD is going? Before the draft is on the 25th, right?
Yeah.
They pretty much assured. The news is that he will be traded before then. Where's KD going? And does he just want to hoop? Because I think wherever he goes, they're not going to. There'll be some highlights, but they're not doing anything.
There's nobody that plays style of basketball that he wants to play. Even the Warriors don't play that style of basketball anymore.
No, I don't have that level of talent.
Yeah.
When he was there, that was the purest KD, though. You got a chance to see him do what he likes to do.
Mm-hmm.
KD podcast? I just don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
You see KD having a podcast?
Said he wasn't. He said he get done hooping. He's going out the limelight.
Yeah, I see that dude fading away.
Mm-hmm.
I see him popping up every once in a while at the game. KD, please hoop in GS and leave Green behind GS. I just don't see that happening. I don't see it.
I tell you what. Somebody actually was looking for Draymond Green cards at the show.
Really? Okay.
That is the one thing I got asked and that stood. I was like, "You got any Draymond Green?" I was like, "I have no Draymond."
I never forget I went to Cars HQ. I'm walking around, and that was a BGS 1010 Draymond Green rookie card for $1,500, $1,200, $1,500, somewhere around there. I was like, man, they went in on the Draymond to open this place. It was a nice card.
Seems overpriced to me, but
I remember looking up comps. I think comps was pretty close to whatever that number was. There's some people out here, I think, who collect Draymond. Sometimes I think we forget as a card people that you only need a niche to control that market. That's it.
yeah, I mean, again, you're a Michigan State fan.
Yeah. Your Golden State, they like that hustle. They like that grind. The People's Defensive Champion of the Year. Ocho Cinco carries Club Shay Shay. Do you think Ocho Cinco carries Club Shay Shay, Brenda? Wow. I don't think that at all.
I mean, I think that's way more of an even podcast than you probably think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty even. I don't see that. I respect your opinion, but
unless Shannon has somebody big on, or there's a good soundbite from his interview show, I don't watch it.
You know what? I used to watch it all the time, and now I very rarely watch it. I can't even tell you what the shift is.
Yeah, I can't tell you why I don't watch it, but I'm just not naturally interested in it. Like I will listen to Club Shay Shay and just listen to it and listen to them banter between each other. That's hilarious to me. It's the same thing. Like I don't watch Cameron and Maze, but any clips where they're bantering against each other, I enjoy those clips.
I can't watch them guys. It's just too much of. I can't even put a word. I can't even describe. I can't watch them. They just start doing stuff that's.
Yeah. Hero. Kevin Durant is socially awkward.
Well,
He's an awkward person.
Yeah, he's just. Well, let me just say this, and I don't know if this is KD, but there are certain people out, man. Maybe this is not KD. It's probably not. There are just certain people you meet that have just silent but present disposition. And to me, KD falls into that. Then you got another group that's silent, angry about something.
I just think KD doesn't. He knows he has the spotlight because he's a good basketball player, but having the spotlight on him doesn't come naturally. I think if y'all cool people, like if he's cool with you in a private setting, he gonna talk and laugh and be personable. But I don't think when it comes to the fame portion of his life, he's into that. And I could be wrong, but that's what he gives off. Like he's not into being famous as much as he's into playing basketball, leading a good private life. Like I think Curry's the same way. Like he's not into be famous in the fame part of it, but he knows the responsibility and the power of his fame, the positivity he can do with it.
You talking about Steph?
Yeah.
I believe Steph has embraced it. I felt like early in his career, he was more uncomfortable with it. And I feel like he has embraced that more. And then I was watching an interview with Iguodala right after Iguodala retired. And he talked about how Steph has grown into that.
Yeah.
Like you see him now hit a shot and he does a little shimmy. Like that wasn't part of his program at all before.
But we're talking about the media, the fame part of it, because he's so philanthropic. He gives away so much. He's trying to help all these different communities. I think he knows the power. Like I have to speak and do the commercials, do the stuff because by doing so, I'm able to help all these people.
I agree.
Right?
I just thought it's just interesting that Steph never gives you a sound.
No.
Never. It looks like you ask him a question, he can quickly understand what he's about to say, what road he's going to go down, and you're not going to take him off of that. So it's an art that more athletes need in their arsenal.
Brunson has that in his arsenal.
Who?
Brunson.
Oh, yeah. Brunson does. Yes. Brunson is pretty polished all the way around. Why do people call Steph the golden child? Why do people call him that?
I mean, can he do any wrong?
He's just a well thought out strategic dude. I don't know. I just look at that differently as golden child. Like we've seen Steph throw a mouthpiece. We've seen Steph almost get into fights. We've seen Steph lose his temper.
Yes.
So he's shown attributes of a human being.
Yeah, but where's the backlash at? Now, if LeBron does it, or if Anthony Edwards does it, LaMelo Ball does it, there's a whole different backlash than what Steph gets. Steph's privileged.
Yeah, but none of these people have done what Steph has done.
I didn't say it's not deserved. I'm just saying.
Remember what you said about Dion?
Yeah.
I mean, Steph has done what no one else we can name has done. So it becomes It's like you didn't hear about what Michael Jordan was doing until 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Guys just built different.
I need some Shoyo Tiny cards.
Always a good Batman.
Always a good buy, yes.
Oh, wait, he's blasting that baseball?
And honestly, like, I got a whole list of things I want for the next time I set up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got like players and just like what I'm gonna get that I think is gonna still be valuable 6 months from now.
How's Bobby Witt Jr. doing? What is his market looking like?
It's up. It's steady. Bobby Witt is steady.
Yeah, he hitting 283. 6 on rounds, 31-9. So that's a solid year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have a talk with Fanatics Live again, and that's going to make me upset.
What's happening with Fanatics Live?
I went to just check out Fanatics Live, and it was not accepting my phone number for my account, even though it's updated and it's correct, and they send me the text message, and I still can't get in to go look at any breaks. So now I'm going to have to go and like chat with somebody to get it fixed. That's going to be great.
Interesting, Big Jon.
I have no negative reason not liking to use Fanatics Live other than I started using Whatnot first. There's no like logical reason why I don't use Fanatics Live for breaking and finding stuff. I'm just way more comfortable with going through Whatnot than on Fanatics Live, and I'm just like trying to get comfortable. Yeah. And then I get into these system issues that now I have to go complain on Instagram to get it fixed, and that's gonna upset me.
Who has the bigger? Do we know this? Any data? Who has the bigger customer base? Whatnot or Fanatics Live?
Probably Whatnot by a mile.
I would think so, right? Where's eBay?
Then eBay way more than that. Like I do Fanatics Collect, so like now they fixed my account there. I'm in there every Sunday looking for something. But Bobby Witt has a lot of good cards, a lot of decent.
So hold up, I know nothing about nothing. Your Fanatics Live account and your Fanatics. What was the other account called?
Collects.
There are two different logins?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because before I had a Fanatics Live account, I had a PWCC account.
Mm-hmm.
They switched over. Something happened with my account, and my account closed.
Okay.
So that email and that original phone number had to get fixed on the back end by them. And I used that same, and it closed because my account was closed out. I had to make a new account for Fanatics Live, but I can't use my regular phone number because that account has been closed. The account attached to that phone number has been closed.
So that account will always have that phone number, which will block you from using that phone number.
Yes, but I was in it, and it was fixed at one point, and now it's not.
Yeah, definitely some integration issues.
Yes. But it's like, I want to spend money with you. Yeah.
Yeah, Whatnot wasn't a make or break decision for me, just not my scene. I got rid of Whatnot and Veriswap. Big Jon, you use VeriSwap?
I have never used VeriSwap. And honestly, with Whatnot now, I stick to just the people that I know who do good business, and that's it. Like I'm not even looking to find new breakers. Like Jordan, I have to show up in his room. There's a baseball room. I'll go look at stuff in, try to find values, just see how it's going. And then there's two wrestling rooms. That's it. Like and when Jerry and Amani go and Yabo do theirs, I'll go in their rooms. But and that's just me going in their room supporting. I'm not even buying all the time. I'm just in there talking, chatting, and just supporting. Because one thing you got to remember, you can support chat without just by being active in the chat. You don't have to buy some people just to give them some support.
True. You still have that Otani card empty? Yes, I do. I don't see it going anywhere.
Unless he decides to buy a mansion, he might let it go so he can afford that mansion.
Don't see that going anywhere. I'm telling you, man. Every time I see Otani, look at Otani, see a highlight, I can't tell you how many people that told me in person that he'll never hit American pitching.
What I find funny now is if you look at the year that Seiya Suzuki is having, and his market is not increasing the way I thought I think it should increase. Because he's hitting the ball. But Judge is up.
Yeah, Judge is up. Should be. I never forget when we first started the channel, I went to a show and somebody had a Judge Mini Topps card in a dollar bin, rookie card. It's just that's the most interesting thing about a show to me. Sometimes where you see stuff. I remember I saw Kristaps Porzingis cards. I saw Prism Golds in a dollar bin once upon a time.
What?
They're still not pitching around Judge.
You don't have to pitch around him when he's on the threat.
Yeah. How many rings is he at?
Who?
Judge.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So he's gonna get lost. I mean, he can have this personal success. When people talk about other players in his era, he's gonna be down a little bit. I think his cards are still maintain value. He's in a large market. He was a Yankees uniform. Does very well with a camera in front of his face. Hector, what's up, man?
I think the Judge's Corner is probably the most brilliant marketing they've done in that stadium.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, it's still based upon rings in your era. If you got Otani getting MVPs and rings, and you have no rings, that will be brought up.
No, it won't.
It will.
We don't bring it up about Barry Bonds. We don't bring it up about Alex Rodriguez. We don't bring it up about King.
When we talk about Derek Jeter and we talk about Barry Bonds, that comes up. Yeah, we do.
That's the conversation I'm having.
Conversation I'm having, they do.
Rings don't come up as much in baseball.
Not as much, but when we start talking about greatness, winning, and rings, that conversation is going to come up. You think people aren't talking about Reggie Jackson and what he did?
Yeah,
he was a kind of an average hitter in the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Mr.
Yeah, it's going to come up.
Ooh.
That's why you couldn't deny Pete Rose because he won. But Aaron Judge will still hold value. His cards will still. But you take a Ken Griffey Jr. and put one ring on him. It's a different ball game.
I don't think it changes much.
I don't know about that, Big John.
People,
What Hall of Fame player with rings cards have a low value?
people still tell you that Mookie Betts isn't better than Mike Trout, and he got 3 of them.
I think people are starting to flip that conversation. It's starting to play out. That hype train has left the station, and we don't hear any choo-choo on the thing. Mike Trout is almost getting to be a has-been.
It's always better to be a has-been than it never was.
Unless your name is Mike Trout. Do you know where he was at one point? And where he's at right now?
He was the man.
The man. And we were talking about of all time playing baseball.
So
coming up with a lot of people. What you got?
So next week, if this happens, you're gonna see Roman Anthony cards blow up and like crazy because Red Sox need a joke and they think about calling him up early.
Mm-hmm.
And his card, he's the number one prospect in baseball right now, number one prospect for the Red Sox with all the call-ups. His card's gonna go insane. And
what's his name again?
Roman Anthony.
Roman Anthony. Okay.
Easy
to remember.
Easy name to remember. I've been looking for.
I still disagree with that. Name me a player who's legendary with no rings, and name me a player who's legendary with over 3 rings.
When you talk about Mickey Mantle, you don't talk about him because of the rings.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You talk about Ted Williams. Yes, you do.
Do you know what that is? That is a casuals conversation.
I don't believe so.
That is
any MLB production that I've seen made is about people with rings, not people without them. I'm talking about production over production over production.
You talk about teams with rings. We don't talk about. We talk about the Red Sox winning and David Ortiz winning because of the drought. How many years it took to win? Talk about the Cubs winning because of that drought it took to win. You talk about the Yankees organization because they're used to winning championships, and that's like the standard. But you don't. But people don't get flat because they didn't win the World Series last year.
But when you talk about Tony Gwynn, you talk about his hitting, right?
Yeah, you talk about his hitting. You don't talk about him winning championships.
Whenever anybody's talking about winning, his name's never coming up. It's never coming up. You're never going to start talking about Mickey Mantle, even Ozzie Smith, and start talking about Tony Gwynn.
You don't talk in baseball. You don't talk about winning as a single person aspect because
I know that. But when you start talking about winning overall, you're not going to bring up Tony Gwynn, Ichiro. These players are not coming up.
Well, when you talk about who's the best hitter, who's the best hitters in baseball, Tony Gwynn, Ichiro names come up.
That's right.
Collected like that, but their names come up. Because
yeah, but we're talking about a winning standard over time. We're not talking about one guy coming up to the plate and swinging. We're talking about a person who led a team, who was a great player on a team that won 2 to 3 to 4 championships. There is a differentiation. If Pete Rose never won, he's looked at a certain way. Nobody's looking at Ichiro like that because he came out and had almost 4,000 to 5,000 hits on his own.
Did Pete Rose win a championship? I couldn't even tell you.
Big John won multiple.
Yeah, couldn't even tell you.
Oh, I can.
Yeah. It doesn't come up when I'm talking to people about baseball.
It comes up when I'm talking to people about baseball.
I think
you come up. People watch the World Series for a reason.
I think you bring it up.
No, not just me. Not just me. And Hector also is in the same room with you. Well, he's not talking about rings.
Yeah.
Then I would ask Hector, why do people watch the World Series?
Because it's important from the team aspect of it.
Yeah, but who are the key teams marketed during the World Series? It's like we got to talking about Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the key players marketed during the World Series? The best players on the team.
Yeah, but it's a harder sport to win in. Like you do realize, as high as the payroll is in LA, as good as the team should be on paper, there's a real chance that they don't repeat.
Who's that?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers are winning more than one ring.
I'm going to say this again. There's a real chance that they don't repeat. And
also, Shohei Ohtani is looked at differently right now after winning that ring than when he didn't have one.
Nope.
And that was talked about in the broadcast. You go back and watch the World Series. That was talked about in the broadcast.
Yeah. But and at that time, it was a talking point. He's still the same feared hitter.
No, I totally disagree.
Championship or not, he's still the same feared.
Ricky Henderson's career changed when he won with the 89 Oakland A's. And when he won with Toronto. His career changed.
When people
you don't talk about Ricky Henderson as a leadoff hitter and then start talking about Tony Gwynn. That conversation's never going to happen.
Okay. We agree to disagree.
Yeah. There's a reason why people win championships.
We get to naturally disagree.
Yeah, that's cool.
When we're talking to people about Ricky Henderson, we talk about him is still how electrifying he was and how he talks in third person. And how he can
talk in third person.
and how if he got on first base, you got 3 pitches to bring him home.
Jordan, I'm not wrong on this. Not wrong on this. I've talked to many baseball players. I'm not wrong on this. I had a deep conversation with Reggie Jackson on the importance of winning rings. I'm not wrong on this. That actually happened. And he talked about the players who don't win and then the players who take steroids. There was 3 conversations there. He asked me, what do I think of Mark McGwire? And I said, well, not really much. And he said, well, he was taking roids when I played with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, he said himself, I don't respect his home runs. And he has more than Reggie Jackson.
Yeah. He's a Cardinal, so I don't respect nothing he did.
Yep. Hey, I appreciate y'all saying I'm wrong. I've actually talked to pro baseball players. I don't think so. And there's a reason why they're proactively bringing that up to me.
But okay, you're talking to pro baseball players.
Yes.
Talk to baseball fans. This is not.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the world of baseball. If you're a Hall of Famer in the world of baseball, I really don't give a shit what a fan says. I'm listening to the player that played the game.
You know what? The next time I see him, me and Roger Davis are going to have a conversation. I'm going to put him beside like Roger. Let's talk. Can we talk baseball for a minute?
Who's the player?
Roger Davis.
Okay, you should ask him.
I see him regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Clear enough. Next time I see him, me and him will have. I'm going to say, can I talk to you for 5 minutes about baseball real quick? Can we have a conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, side note.
What's up?
I got to send you the link. But my little brother has started a podcast talking about sports as well.
I like this. We should jump on this podcast. What's the name of this podcast?
I gotta go find it again because I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Chopping it up in the basement.
Okay. I like this.
Mm.
Hector says any player would take 3,000 hits over 3 rings. Big Jon, you sign off on that?
Yeah.
I'm not.
3,000 hits.
How many players have won? First of all, how many players have won 3 rings compared to 3,000 hits?
3,000. 3,000 hits guarantees you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but how many players have won 3 rings that someone's talking about, or even alive?
I don't know.
Not many.
But we're not talking about, Johnny Daniels.
Hector, I want you to come here, tell us who you've talked to and what they said, besides the name of Hector. I don't even know any player that thinks like that. I would rather have 3,000 hits than 3 rings. I don't know any player talking like that or thinking like that.
First result: how many NBA players have 3 championship rings?
That's right.
First name comes up: Mookie Betts.
Yeah, it should be first name Monday Baseball. Should be. You ask him, would he rather have those 3 rings or 3,000 hits? And how many hits does he have right now?
He'd rather have 3 rings.
Okay. And everybody else would.
Interesting. I love Mookie Betts. That is my boy.
I really like. He's. And you talk about philanthropy. You talk about doing the right thing. It's something like Mookie Betts doesn't get talked about enough because he's boring.
That's fine. But Mookie is hilarious. Mookie has
1,667 hits in his career.
Mm-hmm.
He may not ever get to 3,000.
No.
Because this is okay. Okay.
Mookie bowls like 290.
Yes, does everything. Plays golf well.
Plays golf, scratch golfer, can dunk, can shoot a three.
Zerny said he'll take 3 rings. I wonder who else is in that line. Hector. I wonder who else is in that line.
It also depends on who you play for.
Well, Big Jon, that's everything, baby. That's everything.
Because I'll tell you,
if you're on a Buster squad for years, you're not saying I want 3,000 hits.
Yeah, you are. I tell you what. That one ring, in fact, the 2 rings that the Red Sox won after doing that drought are probably worth to them 4 or 5 rings, just because how long it took them to get those rings.
Yeah,
but, like that one ring from the Cubs is worth so much more. But no, do you not see all the good teams in baseball this year? The Dodgers get the wrong matchup, they may not make it back to the World Series. They're gonna have to be hot. Dusty, they're gonna have to be hot at the right time. Right? That's 36-24. They're only San Diego's 1 game back. San Francisco's 3 games back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When I did the preview with Huddle of the season of the division, I told everybody the Padres and the Giants is a sleeper team because they go bad and then they get really, really good with no-name players out of nowhere.
What do you think of the San Diego Padres?
Lamborghini with a 1920 engine.
So you just splash, okay?
They have all of the names. They have the talent. They're playing for each other this year, which is the biggest difference.
Seems to be a difference for them. Yeah.
After there was very individual. With Tatis coming out of the steroid thing, we had Machado the last couple of years this year, they seem to be playing for the person next to them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's how things change in the playoffs. Oh, you got on first? I gotta find a way to get you over the second. Whether it's sacrifice fly, but I just can't strike out. Yeah. I gotta get you over somehow. And they seem to be playing for each other. In the same way, like last year, you seen the Dodgers playing for each other, but they have a stacked team. Padres have a stacked team, especially from the offense side. What's crazy enough is that Ellie De La Cruz is on track to have more strikeouts than Tony Gwynn in a 7-year span.
Let me just ask you this: when you talk about De La Cruz, what do you think of him as a player?
Highlight reel.
Okay.
Kenny Davis. If Anthony Edwards was a baseball player, it would be Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah, with the same boat.
He's a highlight reel, but to me, you cannot strike out. I know Martin Baseball doesn't care about strikeouts. Even as a pitcher, right? You get so many strikeouts, it really doesn't mean nothing anymore because everybody strikes out.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to get on base, right? You get on if you get on base with his speed, you get on first. You find a way to get on first. In 2 pitches, you can be at third, bruh. And you can. That's what Ricky Henderson did.
Mm-hmm. That is what he did.
A walk? Okay, cool. I walked. All right, I see you at third in 2 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
That's how quickly can I get to third base. Butt me over, sacrifice fly. You guys got 3 outs to get me home. Bunt, sacrifice fly, base hit, don't matter how you get me there. But it's an RBI waiting on you. The same thing for Ellie De La Cruz. I don't know. He's got to change his swing, got to change his approach. The difference between him and PCA changed his swing.
He's a different player. He's a
completely different player than he was. Like, he still swings at bad pitches, but because he changed his swing, he gets to those bad pitches.
Yeah, I was looking at some of his rookie cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got some nice Topps Chrome stuff, though.
They are expensive.
They are expensive. They haven't hit the upper stratosphere yet, but they are expensive.
I don't think they'll hit the upper stratosphere unless the Cubs make multiple runs in the playoffs. With him being a lead for it.
Yep.
Well, you looking? How low number were you looking for?
Oh, I think I was on orange. What was that? What's an orange?
Like 25?
Yeah, 25, something like that. Then I saw gold was more. We know gold is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Gold, I want to say 10 grand.
And I'm partial to in baseball. I'm partial to the purples. I love the purple.
What's the purple out of?
250.
You're not going to lose on that. I think that's a great card. That's that's like the 99s in basketball for Prism. You're not going to lose on that, especially if the player's right. But we got people still talking about rings and 3,000 hits. We got GFE Sports Cars, 3 rings is better than. Gotta see Mission Impossible. I heard it was a good movie. Thanks for that. I heard that. Zerny says FD also they could sell the rings more than 3,000 hits. I think it's all about what you prefer, but what was the comment I saw here? Hector said, I would rather be Charles Barkley than Robert Ory. To me, that's a huge statement.
Man, a lot more money.
That's huge. That's it, but we ain't talking about money now.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't talking about money. There's a lot of players with no rings with the dollars. Especially in this generation. We're going to have a lot of players. Let's fast forward this generation. You're going to have a lot of baseball players that people talk about. You're going to have a lot of basketball players that people talk about that won't win a thing. You're going to have a lot of cards that look nice, that are low numbered, that are jersey in the card. These players won't win anything. It's like having a rookie Patrick Ewing game used jersey in a flawless his rookie year. What is that market like? We don't ever talk about that. We don't talk about the players who will never win And what is their market going to settle at compared to those who have?
But even players who have won, market isn't high as some as the potential of any rookie, right? Why is Wemby selling more than we talked about? I talked about why Caitlin Clark selling more than Asia. Why is Wemby selling more than Steph? Why is Dela Cruz and Paul Skeen selling more than Max Scherzer or Kershaw, right?
But I'm not talking about in the current though. I'm talking about when these players' careers are done.
I'm saying, right? So when these players' careers are done and they didn't win, their market's going to be low, and you're still going to see the next wave of hype rookie hype.
Oh yeah, that's what
one more.
Yeah, but you're going to have some people with cars that people thought Zion is just the first out. Like his stuff is going to settle way down. Where's the bottom on that thing?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be more players that follow that. But the cars look great; they shimmer. There's real jersey patches in the car. It's low numbered, maybe out of 5.
Look how good this looks, so you can see that though.
Yeah.
Out of 250,
Mm-hmm.
purple. I am really partial to the purple.
Is purple your favorite color?
No, I just like it in baseball.
It's my favorite color.
Black's my favorite color, but I like the purple and blues in baseball. The two purple, two blues, two oranges are big cards. Oh, this maybe not.
Settle at? When is that market is always in flux. But at some point it won't be. That's what I'm saying. If we look forward, we're going to know where these players are and where are their cards at.
You don't even got to look forward. You can look backwards. You take any great who had won and look at their market.
True.
Alive or dead, and you can see where it's settled at.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Oh, did you see that play Travis Hunter made in practice, that interception today?
Yeah.
That was sick.
He's going to do more of that, man. He's a phenomenal athlete, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the best. He's one of the since probably Deion and Bo Jackson. Travis Hunter and Darryl Green. Travis Hunter is one of the most freakish athletes and you're going to see plays on the offense side of the ball as a wide receiver. You're going to see pick sixes. The only thing I hope about him is that he never really has like a knee injury or something that breaks down his speed. If he can keep his hops and his speed going, you might as well throw it to the other side of the field. And then over time, Deion's still going to be working with him. Other people are going to be working with him to get his technique completely sound. He's still raw in some ways right now.
Yeah.
That play today, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Brendan said CGC. Anybody talking about CGC?
Yeah. You see the numbers? So, all right. What happened this week, right? Gem rate numbers. PSA 1.6 million cards graded. CGC 56, like 560,000 cards graded. SGC was like 3. BGS was whatever. I think some of the CGC numbers was because of a big bulk thing going in at CCG, but I'm going to say it now. I would not be surprised if by 2027, 2028, the SGC is no longer.
I mean, I think after the acquisition, I kind of thought 3-4 years. I mean, why they need it?
Well, especially when PSA is going to open office in Boca Raton in the same building the SGC is in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, this whole we separate and we gonna work there, that don't make much sense because, and I said it's because the bean counters is gonna keep counting the beans. But if we just transition these SGC graders over to us, we can grade more cards in PSA. We're already grading almost 2 million cards a month. We need the volume. We need the graders more than this section needs it.
Yeah. Daryl Green played till 40 and was the fastest man in the NFL. What else we got here? Travis playing sandlot ball. Yep. The vintage guy will have pitch for it. He will. The vintage guy will. Yeah. What do you do if you got vintage in a slab and the slab is gone?
Mm-hmm.
You're not moving that over to PSI. I don't see that.
Well, that's right. When I say gone, I don't mean like the company is out of business, but the company is gone, and it's kind of like BGS is now, right? You're gonna see them like they exist, but they don't really.
See, I'm talking about going out of business, being done away with. I don't know any company that acquires a company and they just keep rolling. FedEx took over Kinko's. It was FedEx Kinko's.
Then it was just FedEx.
It was just FedEx. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Now, and now there are very few FedEx that actually does printing. Now they're UPS stores that do the printing.
Well, the FedEx I go into, you have to run that down yourself. They're there, but there's no one helping you with it. You see FedExes with no printing at all?
Basically, we don't have a FedEx place around it.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Have very few UPS stores.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of UPS stores.
But the UPS stores, can do printing. You can bring stuff to be printed there, as well as ship your stuff out.
Okay.
Where
I know you know Big Jon.
Oh.
What trips me out is when you go into a UPS store, the level of customer service is nothing like that.
No, because the money. So I look at the money around a UPS store is taking packages and mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
And mailboxes can you keep? That's where the money in running that business is. Mm-hmm. The money is not in printing labels or shipping packages out. It's in how many packages can people already label get in, and they're just dropping off, and you getting paid the $1 from Amazon to take the package in. It's not actually, or how many boxes, basically UPS PO boxes type things you can have set up for people to get their mail coming to you instead of the post office.
Mm-hmm. Brendan says a universal grading scale standard may come about. Do you think that ever happen?
No.
I think it's a nice sounding thing for people to talk about. I don't see why different businesses are doing anything alike.
I mean, especially when you want to differentiate yourself.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. So do you see any world where BGS comes firing back?
No.
There's nothing they can do. Let's say they got a CEO, very vocal. They're coming with stuff that makes sense. They start making these announcements and they start doing. Let's say they get some big cards in their slabs. They're showcasing them at the National, showcasing them on stuff is selling now on Golden or other auction houses in the BGS side. You don't think there's anything they can do?
Right now, BGS might as well be a brand new company, an arena club, and tag a HGA because they're so far behind, and we romanticize what BGS used to be, what BGS fell for. right? You know, people are great with them to chase black labels because that's one way you're going to outsell a PSA 10 having actual black labels or something now. Something current, modern day. I'm not talking about vintage, modern day.
Mm-hmm.
But with CGC having the pristine 10 and that being able to get that at a good clip, and those slabs outselling PSA 10 with the pristine, you have more people chasing the pristine 10 than anything else. And you can't get you. I think SEC gives out like 7 perfect cards a year, if that. So you're not getting any pristine SEC or whatever they call it from them. They give out 7 a year. So like a lot of people are grading their Pokemon with CGC because those cards in a 10, or those cards go in a pristine, go for at PSA or more than PSA.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to get so many people to collectively turn away from PSA. BGS would have to do everything perfectly for 3-4 years straight. Simultaneously, PSA do everything wrong.
Agree.
Like PSA would have to close down for a year.
Yep, it'd be a slow creep.
Yeah, it's just it's too much. It's too much.
I mean, even when you go to a show and they both have booths, the traffic is totally different.
Yeah. Outside of Dr. Beckett coming back and taking back over, which I doubt that would ever happen. That is the biggest news that will get people like, oh, there's a possibility for change.
Didn't help Steve Grad said about PSA's greatest. What did he say? I don't even know. I do not know. Brendan, if you know. Educate. See if I can do some quick research.
Yeah. Oh. But going back to like my trip.
Yeah.
I realized that we do a long podcast, but I'm gonna need other podcasters to realize if you are cursing every other word in your stuff, listening to your podcast cannot listen to it with their kids.
Well, let me just tell you this. So when I first started, the chat was filled with all types of stuff because some of these people came over from other podcasts where they regularly just say whatever in the chat. And then I probably, being FD, probably chastise some people to the point that they don't come back in here and say stuff like that. But some podcasters perpetuate that. They want that.
Listen, I'm not saying like freedom of infringe anybody's freedom of speech. I shout out almost all the podcasts I listen to while driving, right? But there's no way I should listen to a podcast and then you start cursing every other sister, and I gotta cut you off because now I can't let my daughter hear it.
I get it.
Or I feel like I just listened to something dirty with my wife. You know, why like?
But you know, there's some viewers that love that. They love. Oh, they used to tell me, FD, you're tripping.
Yeah, and I'm not saying don't curse at all, but like you should actually think about that if you want people more to listen, because we all, you know, if your demographic is our age, everybody's not listening to your podcast with earbuds in their ear. And you want to talk about, what about the kids in the hobby? You can't talk about the kids in the hobby, and this issue, this F this and mother F that. If he was an a-hole, you can't be doing all that and saying all that. And then come out, well, we gotta, what about the kids in the hobby? They gotta get Pokemon cards too.
Yep.
That's my high horse.
I got you.
And sometimes I don't hear it because I may be listening to it while doing a mundane task. So I'm not really, I hear it, but I'm not focused on it. So I'm not.
So when you go to shows, do you hear anything like that?
Nope.
I do. I usually just look at people and they turn that down. Or I'm still walking and I move away.
Again, everybody this weekend was so nice and so respectful. Like, if I was like, I can tell you, rose color. I got rose colored glasses on, right? Because I couldn't tell you if something didn't sell because of a bad situation. It was other than nobody they didn't want the card. They didn't want to buy it.
It sounds like you had a great show.
Yeah.
That's good.
But even when I go to smaller shows or go to the big show, you don't hear people cursing up a storm. You don't hear people.
I don't want to paint the picture that this is everybody. This is every now and then. You'll hear someone that's just, But it's the same way when I go to sporting events. I can go to a football game, baseball game. Somebody's talking out of pocket that day at some point. A lot of times I'll just pull them to the side and talk to them. But
I would expect that at a sporting event.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Big Jon, about me. I don't really expect that anywhere. I don't expect loud talk and you're saying whatever you want to say when you know you're at an event that families come to. If I go to a baseball game, nobody's coming in there just by themselves. Very few people. You got your significant other with you, or you got your children, or you have other people's children with you. So, I can police myself. I don't go places and get all. I think other people can police themselves. I shouldn't even have to say anything to you or look at you. Like we went to a Dodgers game last season. Junior and I are sitting in the bleachers. I got tickets for the game. I think it was Jackie Robinson night. It was Jackie Robinson night. And one guy behind me was talking about how he was a baseball player. I think at his university. He had his girlfriend with him. I knew all this. I didn't even turn around. And there were two friends. There was a male and a female with them. And they're cursing up a storm. Talking about this and that. And then I like all of a sudden there's some silence. And his friend leans towards me and says, "Should we clean up our conversation?"
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, I would appreciate it. And that person at least caught themselves, policed themselves. I never turned around. I don't know what this person looks like. I never turned around. I leaned over to Junior when it first started and said, "You just know we don't talk like that."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to chastise these people. I'm not going to turn around and tell them what they better be doing. I'm not doing all that. But I just wanted him to know that we don't get down like that. And then we're good. We're back watching the game. Until this guy said to me, should I watch what I'm saying? At least he had the wherewithal, man. Some people just keep going. Brendan says, trading companies come and go. At some point here, I think some companies are going to probably have to realize some things. And some of them have great business models.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have that price point when they sell. And I think a universal belief that I'm going to put my card in this slab.
What other reason besides resale value are we grading with PSA?
They're UV protected. Yeah. Some people want to store stuff. I know some people that grade stuff that really isn't worth anything. It's really their personal PC, and they just want to store it.
Yeah.
So, and they like the topper of PSA. So,
I buy PSA 9s for my PC. Most of my Kobe White collection is PSA 9. Because I'm not trying to resell it, so I want the card. I don't want the value of the 10. Give me the card.
I usually start with a PSA, and then if I don't like the grade,
Mhm.
I may try to resub the PSA or sub to someone else. But I'm starting at PSA. And I remember a time when I was all Beckett. Everything I pretty much had was Beckett. But I had to come to grips with that.
Yeah, I've come to grips that as I've sold more cards that PSA is the beast that I have to deal with to be able to afford the cards that I want.
Mm-hmm. And PSA we trust. What I want to do though is try to see if I can cross some Beckett to PSA. Like, can I get a 95, 95, 95, 10? And see if I can move that over to something.
I want to see if I can cross an Arena Club 95, 95, 10, 10, something like that. There's the Arena Club 95 to PSA and see what happens. That's what I want to do.
I think that would be cool. And HGA. Most of that stuff has probably been purchased and swapped already.
But I think, like, I had a HTC 7 Lamar Chase rookie patch out of Phoenix. And they got an HTC 7. I don't know why they got a 7. But I'm not really big on cracking it, so I didn't crack it. I just put a $5 tag on it. The guy looked at it, walked around, came back. He's like, for $5, I just got to buy it. I looked at it, and I was wondering why it was $5, and I think it was a 7. But for $5 for a Jamar Chase rookie patch, it's already great. I just got to buy it. Like,
Yeah.
I like the card. But it's hard finding people. That's what one thing I noticed. It's hard people who like the card over the grade.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And even if it was graded, you see them processing it well. It's already graded, so there's not that much upside of me selling it. It's just not super liquid. So I just rather get it raw.
Jordan says, why not find it in an SGC or CGC, etc.?
Oh, I do find it in the CGC or SGC. But like when I'm on Fanatics Collect and I'm looking for Kobe Whites, they're mostly PSA 9s and I get them for $5-10. So I just find it 9. I have 2 Montez Forge cards that I have to send in the SGC because I have the gold that I like how that card looks in the SGC slab.
I wonder how many people are crossing SGC and CGC to PSA.
I wonder. I don't think many people are crossing CGC.
I don't think so either. I agree with that.
But if this is for my PC, I'm buying the card over the grade. This is for my PC. I want to pay the lowest and best possible price I can pay because I'm not worried about the resale value of it.
I get that.
Now, if I'm reselling it, that's when what holder it is in matters.
Mm-hmm. My buddy just crossed a SGC 9 to a PSA, came back a 10. Yeah, something just in my gut tells me that's not common. I don't know.
Did he send it in? Who cracked it, your buddy or PSA? Because I bet you your buddy cracked it and sent it in.
You think it's some bias on grades if they see it?
Definitely.
Yeah, so do I.
Sure.
Anything I've ever done, I've cracked that myself. Send it.
I have some PSA 9s that I want to crack and send back, but I also don't want to give them more money.
Okay.
Just get a 10 again. So, but you hear it all the time. It came back a 7. I sent it back and it got a 10. It came back a 9. Sent it back and got a 10. Yeah. Some of that's human nature. Like, what did that guy feel like that day? What did the person grading feel? Was he hungry? Was he move too fast?
So on the flip side of that, if you take a high BGS grade, 9.5, subgrade to 110, 3 9.5s, you take that to PSA in the slab.
Mm-hmm.
Are they more Is there a higher probability of him saying, yeah, I think that's a 10, than you cracking it out and sending it? I don't know. What's up?
I think two things you got to look for on something like that: the centering.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
If the centering is a 10 and the corner is a 10, I would be more confident to crack it. Well, like the corners are a 9, I'm like, never mind. Because I think the hardest thing for us regular people to determine is a rounded corner.
I agree with that. Or a fuzzy corner.
Yeah, or wear and tear on the corner. That's the hardest thing. Like I won't grade this card. Let's see. This card here, because it's got a little something on the top corner right there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's some Kurt's card care right there.
And then on the bottom corner right here,
yeah,
there's a little something right there.
Mm-hmm. And that's straight out the pack?
Huh?
Straight out the pack?
No, I bought this off eBay.
Yeah. I purchased a card or two on eBay. More than that. That it's at the same thing. You know what I always find? I don't want to buy a card if the card is on eBay. So it could be straight up like that, or it could be angled. If the picture is angled and they're trying to get that corner, this corner away from me, I ask for new pictures. Because if you're tilting that card, there is a reason in my mind. So I need some flat, I need up close on each corner. You know, some people won't do that for you.
Yeah, some people won't.
Yeah. Oh, it's not worth my time. Okay.
Yeah, because if you see it, then you say no. I just spent 5 minutes taking pictures just to get told I'm good.
As the competition drops off, the crack and resubmits will clog up the wait time. I've seen this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I still say, if you got a strategic eye, there is raw to grade opportunities out here. They're not common. Mm-hmm. And there's some crack and resubmit that's out here. But they have that keen eye.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
That's right. If you just want to come square out the package or you stumble across something, but if you got that eye and you're looking and you slow down at a show and you ask people, can I take this? Or you wear gloves. Can I take this out of the penny sleeve and top loader? You'll learn a lot. If they tell you no, you've already learned a lot. Or you ask them to do it. Do you want to do it? No. You've already learned a lot. Mm-hmm. Jordan asks, how you selling? Who is that referred to? Who is that? I would always sell something to make a move.
You talking about this Roman out of 25?
Oh yeah, is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. I like it. I haven't.
I like it.
That's why I didn't complain and send it back to the seller. I actually like the card.
Jordan, I would love to walk the show with Jordan one day. I'd love to see what Jordan's getting into.
Jordan, hey, I got some Romans. You want to make some deals? I might sit down on the live and go through because I'm going to send some stuff back, send some stuff out to PSA before I go on my next vacation. So it's probably going to be mostly wrestling.
And Big Jon, what's up with you talking about at the beginning of the podcast? I question everything.
You question everything.
I don't question everything. There's just some things that need a question.
You were probably the kid in school that was like,
oh, I have my hand up.
Everything.
I'll put my hand up. Especially if somebody said something that didn't cut the mustard. My hand is up.
You don't let nothing go. You question everything, and it's okay.
No, I gotta scratch and sniff, man. FD, you do question everything. Jordan, do I really? Hey, my grandmother told me if you don't question stuff, then what are you doing?
Nah, you question stuff. It's cool.
It is part of my makeup. FD, I'm down. We can walk front row. First, I got to find out when front row is and if I'm going to be there.
No.
If I am there, yeah.
Okay, hold on. When y'all go to Burbank, let me know beforehand because there's a couple cars they got on their eBay that I'd like you to negotiate for me and give me a lower price.
You mean at the store?
Yeah, when you gotta go to the store. Y'all go.
I can do that.
All right. And there's a couple cars they got on eBay. I just seen the Real Ripley to 10 for 40. If you got it 40, I think they can let it go for like 25. Maybe give you a deal in person.
We can at least get that down to 25, 30.
Yeah.
June 21st, Jordan, is the same day as the GTSM show. There's an autograph show at Frankenson's the same 2 days. That's what I was just talking about earlier. You got Randy Johnson there. You got the glove, Gary Payton, and you got Sean Kemp. Same time. Jordan said he might go this week, man. Make sure you hit up Big Jon.
You just let me know beforehand, and I will send you the pictures of what I'm looking for.
Jordan, what are you gonna be looking for? What's up? What's popping? Let's check out the new store. They got a lot. It's 14,000 square foot store. They have a lot of room to do a lot of stuff.
I know exactly what Jordan gonna do. Jordan gonna go into one of them sections and fill him up one of them quarter boxes, and then take it back home.
Whatnot.
Right. Bad at you. I wish I could do the same.
Jordan up in the house. Well, Big Jon, I know I can keep you on here all night, man. I don't want to. I know it's late there.
All right, man.
I'm off from work tomorrow, so I'm in relaxed mode right now.
Lucky. I'm off Sunday, and I'm not off until I leave again. So. They're like, going on another one. Leave me alone.
What's that again?
I said, everybody's like, you just got back from vacation, and I'm ready to go on another one. Leave me alone.
Yeah, tell them to get out your benefits package.
I'm out of here for weeks.
Because I'm going to a concert that day. What concert are you going to, George?
George, you want this one? We can make a deal for this one. This Roman. Got a Stone Cold too, I'm in a deal making mood.
I'm trying to understand this concert. What are we going to see? Then we're going to get off here. Jordan, hook us up. Banda M's. Jordan just educated me on something here. Okay. I'm going to play about 15 seconds so I don't get banned. Interesting. Whenever you want to see something on YouTube, it's like long commercials. Come on.
You're taking your wife to this concert, aren't you?
What's that?
He's taking his wife to this concert.
Yeah, I would go kick into this. I went out with some people from work, man. It's about a year ago. I went to see a mariachi band. It's kicking it. Oh, I can see why. I'm going to listen to some of this tonight, man. I may put some of this in some content, bro. All right. Very cool.
Appreciate you guys, chat. We're going to get FD on the East Coast soon. I don't know how
it's been a long time, man. That's a long flight. Been a long time.
That's a long flight.
That's a long flight, sir. From LA to Connecticut?
Yeah.
Bro,
Oh, I know. I took it. It's a long flight. It's a day.
All right. When I lived in Detroit, I could easily get to anywhere. Florida, New York. It was not. I think from Detroit to New York was like 2.5, something like that. It's nothing. But so you're talking about probably 7-hour flight. It's not more. Some layover time.
We got to discuss nationals next year. That's the most. That is probably the best way for us to meet up.
Oh, for the national next year, I would like to go. Yeah, it would be good to be in Chicago too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be cool. Make some content from that. You know, this is gonna start heating up. We got 7-8 weeks of the national.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting. Everybody's packing in the Rose Night. What cars will be hot? What are people buying? You think they're gonna be buying Halliburton, Big Jon?
Yeah, they buying Halliburton. Yeah, I know they buying Halliburton because I put a card up and it sold for $4 and it should have been $1 off bids. They buying Halliburton.
Okay. Hey, next week. Well, I guess next week. Anybody got any quick predictions on the finals before we get up out of here?
OKC.
How many games?
6.
I'll say OKC in 5. So we're in the same boat. We'll see. It should be. I just hope whenever a series like this starts, man, I just hope no one gets hurt. No one gets hurt. Sweet. Oh. Sweet. Okay. OKC in 6. People talking out here. Pacers be the odd man. Jordan.
Of course.
You talk about me questioning everything. You know you want to be the odd man all the time. You don't even think, you don't believe half the things that you say. You just say them. You know why I know this? Because my brother was the same way. You ask him about it now? Man, I didn't believe that shit. I didn't believe it. Oh, you got okay. My man got the Pacers in 6. I love it. Anything can happen. They played to get there. Anything can happen. We saw Golden State had 2 people go down and they lost a championship. We saw Golden State, one of their players kick somebody in the groin and got suspended. So anything can go down. Reggie is my favorite player. I love it, man. I love it. That's cool. I respect Reggie Miller. I saw him one time in Calabasas. He was nice when I saw him. I like Reggie. I think he just stuck. To me, I think there are some players that just stuck around too long with the wrong organization. To me, Reggie is one of them. He could have went someplace else. If he was in today's environment, he'd be a well-paid sharpshooter.
Well paid.
Well paid. So we'll see what Michael Porter Jr. is going in all season.
Nowhere.
You don't think it's even Denver?
Nope. They love him.
Yeah,
and they got family ties.
With the Mizzou thing you're talking about, or something else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got family ties. I don't think he's going over
there. Jordan, are you talking about Reggie was almost going to play with Kobe? Or when was he going to the Lakers? I like to know that. Hey, I hope everybody has a great week. I've looked forward to this all night. I always enjoy being with my people. Spread the word. Let people know about what's to play. We would appreciate that. Love having them here and see what they're thinking about sports and other stuff. One last thing before we go. Stephon Diggs and Cardi B. What you thinking?
None of my business.
I think the same thing.
None of my business. Whatever.
Yeah.
Float your boat. None of my business.
This is what we do now, though. You know, even like J-Lo. J-Lo is doing some things that's untypical of J-Lo. people start doing stuff, man, to resurrect their career. But you know, Cardi B hasn't put a album out since 2017.
I know, and she's supposed to be working on one now. Yeah, none of my business.
Nobody's listening to that, man. What? Hey, what if Stephon Diggs gets cut?
Hmm?
What if Stephon Diggs gets cut? Would you come off a knee injury to some whatever kind of stuff, or would you come off? I'm here to play football.
Listen, if you're paying me when he gets $8 million a year, I wouldn't be in no trouble whatsoever.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna get trouble with what I get paid now. Think I'm gonna risk $8 million?
You know, I was just telling somebody that the other day. I don't get. Oh, I was talking to the guy at work today. I'm not here to do anything but my job, and I'm trying to, you know, I want to grow certain things. So, but I'm not here to do. It always cracks me up. Big Jon, is it because we were taught certain things, and these athletes never got that, or they just don't give them? What is it?
Because it's given to them before it's earned.
And then you have some athletes you never hear about.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but the sport that they play and how well they're doing at it, or how they help their team. That's it. There's really probably more of that than Tariq Hill and what he has going on, or somebody else. It's probably really more of that. But even myself, we focus in on certain things. Do you see Ja drinking LeBron's liquor today?
Nope.
Yeah. I think he was somewhere getting some jury, and they broke out LeBron's liquor. Ja started drinking it.
Yeah. If I'm making all the money they make, I'm not trying to give it all away to child support. That's all I got to say.
Nope. Even out here doing what we do, I'm not trying to do the same thing. And plus, I just got a thing like I want to actually see my children. I don't want my kids in another state, and I see them when I see them, and I'm on the phone with them. Baby, I see you after the season. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want to look at a kid 18 and I really don't know who they are. 19, 20, and I've had limited interaction. Don't want that. But it's all, I mean, we make decisions. You know, we're adults, young adults. We make decisions. So, and I'm not judging anybody. I'm telling you about what I don't want. Yep. Big Jon, I always appreciate you, man.
I'm sorry, I'm researching freaking cards. And
What you research?
WWE Select checklist and what their prices are. I got the vending bug, and now I'm just kind of I know what I'm trying to know what I'm looking for. Because again, like I said, remember where you buy, where the profit's at.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
So
yeah,
just trying to find this checklist so I can see. I already made another deal for somebody who was mad they didn't pick something up.
You're gonna have a lot of that. You're gonna build relationships with people. They're gonna be looking for certain things. They're gonna contact you. Big Jon, you could even grow into it with some people that you know that you do some consignment work with.
Yeah, that's one thing at a time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna build up a clientele of people that are coming by looking for you. This is gonna happen. You have personality for it too.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Peace. What's the play? 155. See y'all later.